All right, guys. So I had someone tell me that this is old news. This is part two of the mayor and the body cam. Now, I know it's old news to a lot of you guys. My reaction isn't old. You haven't heard what I had to say about it. And if you're my subscriber, I thought maybe you might be interested. And if you're not, that's fine. Skip this video. My point is, this is my town. This is Lawrence County. This is Ironton. This is the mayor that runs the show here. Most of the dealings that happen in this county happen out of Ironton's courthouse, out of the city of Ironton, with that jackass mayor. Okay, I'm just being honest. So what I'm gonna do, this is part two. Good morning, everybody. I think I already said that. I hope I did. If I didn't, I'm saying it now. And this is the part of the monkey court. Now, listen, I've been in and out of the court system. I'm not an angel. I've made mistakes, but some of it wasn't. It was just them dragging me through because they want my money, right? They don't do anything logical. And this man thinking he is above everybody, like, I'm the mayor. So what are you doing here? I'm sorry, but I believe that more citizens need to be making some phone calls, need to be showing some face and asking, why is this jackhole still the mayor? You know, I remember voting him in the very first time. I didn't vote for him anymore after that because the first year I heard about stuff like this, he said he wanted to end the good old boy system, but he is the good old boy. Okay. It makes me irate, these cops, the way they freaking act. Anyways, I don't want to spend that much more time on this video. It is old news. I can't remember whoever said that. You're right, it is old news. So I don't want to spend too much more time on it. I want to move on. There's other things I would like to talk about today. And those videos will be coming out after this. So let's get started on this. Now, we're on the part of the video where Terry has the report up, and you can't really see the report that well. But Terry, again, I love your channel. Thank you for this. You've done a great job. I appreciate all the work that you've done. Thank you very much, sir.
This is the arrest report by the Highway Patrol, and I know it's hard for you guys to see. I've tried to find a better way to share this, and I just can't seem to get it, but I do have it here, so bear with me. I will read it to you. Of course, this is, let me get my version up here so that I can see it on my desktop. This is the arrest report and summons written by the Highway Patrol. It says to defendant summons, you are summoned in order to appear. It has all the information, you know, about the personal information of the mayor and his vehicle on that sheet. There, of course, you know, is the actual cover sheet of the entire thing. And if I can find it, here we go. Now, this is what the Highway Patrol actually wrote to the judge. So this is the important part and the part that I wanted to read through. So I will read. Hopefully you guys can see it on your screen. If you can't, if you're on a phone, I'm sorry, it's the best I can do for now, but I'm going to read it to you here. It says, Your Honor, on August 20th, 2022, at approximately 0102 hours, that's 1:02 a.m., I was on patrol traveling westbound on 4th Street when I observed a vehicle traveling southbound on Pleasant Street above the posted speed limit through the intersection of Pleasant Street and 4th Street. The intersection is a four-way intersection, and I observed the vehicle traveling at a speed that would be impossible to obtain if the vehicle would have completely stopped at the stop sign, indicating the vehicle had failed to stop at the intersection. I sped up and observed the vehicle pull out of the lane of travel and into the parking portion of the roadway. However, the vehicle did not park. The vehicle then swerved left and proceeded to make a right-hand turn onto Third without using its turn signal. So right here, he's got him not signaling, running a stop sign, speeding, and swerving. Just want to make that evident. He goes on to say, I also observed the vehicle's left tail light was damaged and was emitting a white light to the rear. The vehicle then pulled out of the lane of traffic, or out of the lane of travel, I apologize, parked, and I initiated a traffic stop by activating my overhead lights. At this time, all occupants had exited the vehicle but were still at the vehicle, and I observed the driver exit from the driver's seat and was able to identify the driver. The front seat passenger walked away from the traffic stop, and I asked the rear passenger to remain in the vehicle, and he complied. I made contact with the driver, and he stated, "You pulling me over?" then sat back down in the driver's seat. I asked the driver for his driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. He sorted through some items he was holding and provided me with his driver's license, and he was identified as Samuel Cramblett II. He attempted to retrieve the other requested items but was unable to produce them. And as he was attempting to locate the items, I noticed his movements were slow and lethargic, and he was having difficulty sorting through the paperwork in the glove box as well as the center console. I asked him where he was going, and he pointed to the Auger Inn, which again is that bar right there across.
Yeah, he was. We could see in the video before. If you go watch this whole video over there, because I'm not going to do this whole segment, this whole thing. But you can tell he was struggling. The body cam footage shows he was clearly drunk. So let's get back to it.
Across the street and stated, "We are just going here. I was bringing them here," referring to the passengers in the vehicle. I explained the reasons for the traffic stop and noticed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from that vehicle. While speaking with Mr. Cramblett II, I noticed his speech was thick and slurred and his eyes were bloodshot and glassy. I asked him how much he had had to drink. He stated, "I had a couple earlier. I was just driving them." I asked Mr. Cramblett to exit the vehicle and stand in front of my patrol car. While at my patrol car, Mr. Cramblett stated, "This is off the record. I'm the mayor here in Ironton. I'm just wondering what you guys are doing in town." While he was speaking, I noticed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from his breath. He consented to standard field sobriety tests. At this time, the rear seat passenger asked if he could leave the traffic stop, and I stated he could. I administered the horizontal gaze nystagmus test and observed a nystagmus in each of the following clues: lack of smooth pursuit, distinct and sustained nystagmus at the maximum deviation, and had a 35-degree angle of onset. I began to give the instructions for the walk and turn test, and Mr. Cramblett requested that we move the area and conduct the field sobriety tests at another location due to a large crowd that had gathered at the Auger Inn. The crowd, let me flip this for you. I know you guys, it gets to the end there, so I have to flip the page for y'all and then go back to mine. Give me just.
And so that you can even tell how arrogant, entitled, and special that the mayor thinks that he is. Because he, the mayor, wants to move so that the crowd doesn't witness him going down for a DUI. When you drink and drive and you get pulled over, crowd or no crowd, mayor, no mayor, this is what you get, Mr. Mayor.
Just a second. Sorry about that. Fun. As I learn how to tech here. Said the crowd was yelling and screaming, and a patron had walked into the traffic stop and stated she wanted to be arrested and taken to jail rather than Mr. Cramblett.
Again, if you are the person that ran into the crowd and said, "Hey, I'll go to jail for Sam," please get yourself some mental health help. Okay. You don't go to jail for anybody.
I assisted the patron back across the roadway, and the traffic stop was moved to an empty nearby parking lot, and the standard field sobriety tests were resumed. He performed the walk and turn tests, and I observed 7 standardized clues of impairment. I'm going to read that again. He said, I observed 7 clues of impairment. He moved his feet while listening to the instructions and started the test 2 times prior to being instructed to do so, raised his arms greater than 6 inches for balance, failed to touch heel to toe 3 times, stepped off the line 1 time, and he made an incorrect turn. As he was performing the test, I noticed that he stopped walking after each step to maintain his balance. He performed the 1-leg stand test, and I observed 3 standardized clues of impairment. He swayed side to side both ways, raised his arms greater than 6 inches for balance, and he put his foot down on count 11. Prior to starting the test, I asked if he had any questions and if he understood the instructions, and he stated he did. I instructed him to begin, and he stated which foot. A second demonstration was given as well with the instructions prior to starting the test. As he performed the test, I noticed he counted slowly to 1012 in approximately 30 seconds. At this time, Sergeant McFan arrived on scene. Mr. Cramblett was offered a portable breath test, and he hesitated and began speaking out loud that he knew how he weighed, how much alcohol he had consumed, and what he had eaten throughout the day. After a short while, he refused the portable breath test, indicating to me that he believed he would show a blood alcohol of the per se level. I placed Mr. Cramblett under arrest for operating a vehicle under the influence. I handcuffed him, advised him of his Miranda rights, searched him, and secured him in the back of my patrol car. He was read and shown the BMV 2255 on scene. He was offered a breath test using the Intoxilizer 8000, and he refused. He was advised of his ALS suspension and mandatory court appearance in the Ironton Municipal Court. He was advised and served with a copy of his charges, then released from the scene with a valid and sober driver. Respectfully, Trooper Martin, U1364. I assume that is probably his badge number. So we have.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward through some of this because I want to get to the part where actually I think I'm going to go ahead and end this there, because I'm going to summarize what's left. And if you want to, like I said, everybody knows, like my subscribers are almost the same. You guys know if you missed it or you want to watch it or you're new here and you want to watch it, go over to Ironton Accountability and finish it there, or watch it there. Watch the full video there. This was his creation. Don't want to take away from his creativity. I really just wanted to make fun of his stop yesterday, the part where the mayor makes a fool out of himself and thinks that he's above all of us peasants. So that being said, they take it over to Scioto County Court. Scioto County is the next county over from us. They decide that they're going to give him a ticket for the blinker or the light that's out, because I guess somewhere in there, I don't guess, he did admit that he had been riding around like that. And he had been. And it was okay. Had that been one of us, how many times did we watch Ironton film the cops pull someone over for an obstruction of a light or obstruction of a plate, or the light was busted or the tail light was out or something and they got a ticket? And miraculously, if Brad was on that stop, they'd find a little bit of meth and heroin. And then, of course, they could go through Lawrence County's rehabs, because they're all owned by the cops' families and the judges' families and everybody's families. And that's the truth. That's what's making this system not good. You can't choose rehab in this area and come out okay, because you have to pay a buttload of charges and the system owns you at that point. So your recovery is not your recovery here. It just isn't. And that's sad. I feel bad for people. I know what it's, I've got 11 years clean from opioids. I know what it's like to come out of the other side. And your recovery is not your recovery if you choose to use Ironton, Lawrence counties, 1 of 30 places they have. It's ridiculous. They got all the funding to open up rehabs. Nobody else did. In fact, I guarantee you the money on the lawsuit that I was in on for the opioids is gone. Like the county got it, the state got it first. But the people that were screwed over, that got addicted to the drugs because of the doctors prescribing it, like Bazdow's. I'm just throwing everybody out there today, throwing everybody under the bus. We didn't get any money for that. We didn't get any help. Like, we got thrown under the bus. That's bullshit. So here's Mr. Cramlett. He goes to Scioto County. The judge gives him a charge of the taillight. How much do you want to pay today? The judge asked him how much he wanted to pay. He said, I don't know. What do you think is fair? Can you pay $25 today? When in the history of DUIs has anyone been able to stand up and ask or get the treatment like he got with the judge? First, you get special treatment because you're the mayor. And then your special treatment leads you to a $25 fee. He didn't get charged with the DUI, folks. He just didn't, because he's the mayor and we're peasants. And I'm going to keep saying that till more people can step up. Anyways, I'm going to make some phone calls Monday. I've made some phone calls this week. They still haven't said anything about Brad. I want to know about Brad. Brad needs to be seen by a local judge. We need to be able to be a part of his case. And all the stops that he was involved in that had anything to do with drugs, those cases need to be thrown out. That's what I think, and that's how I feel. All right, guys. I want you to remember, be the reason someone believes in good people. Don't go around acting like Sam Cramlett. And I will see you guys later.